Oh, hi there. How you doing? Good to see you again. Sorry I've been away for a while, but I'm back. I've been off doing things, getting knowledge, being who I am, and now I'm back to share a little bit of what I've been doing with you. Got a better camera here, so hopefully the videos are better to watch. Hopefully the audio is better to listen to. And what I'm going to bring to you today is a letter that I just wrote to my bank. And I'm going to read it to you and then leave it up to you to let me know what you think about it based on what the letter says. I think you might have something to say. I hope you do. Just realize that at some points throughout this letter, I'm going to be reading it off my computer screen here. At some points throughout this letter, I'll be substituting certain people's names, including my own, with blank for privacy reasons, including my own privacy reasons. Okay, I'm sure I'm sure you understand. So, without further ado, let me hurry up so I don't go past the 10-minute mark reading this letter. Dear Mr. Blank, I appreciate you speaking with me this past week to help me understand the lending practices of M&T Bank. Unfortunately, as you stated on that phone call, you were unable to clearly understand what my question really was, so your suggestion to put it in writing may have just been the perfect recommendation to make. As such, I'll try to state my question here in the written word in as clear a format as I can to hopefully help you help me better understand how M&T lends money. To recap, I had contacted M&T's main customer service line to ask about what types of lending products were currently available. Two products were brought to my attention, a secured general purpose loan and an unsecured general purpose loan. The latter was more appropriate as I don't have any collateral. I was informed that there would be certain risk factor guidelines and approval standards in place to get the unsecured general purpose loan, which in my case would make for an additional challenge. I went on to explain to the customer service representative on the phone that my credit had suffered at the hands of a number of credit card and loan companies who had taken it upon themselves to reflect negative histories to the bureaus. They had done so because I had discontinued making timely payments to them on the basis that they were unable to provide me with any validation of the debt with interest they claimed I owed them. You see, I had been and remain completely willing to pay each creditor I just referenced any and all money that I lawfully owed, providing they could submit documentation to me, including a copy of the actual accounting of the debt, showing that their company would sustain an actual loss if the money was to go unpaid, a copy of their claim against me, the case-sensitive natural person, in the form of a sworn affidavit or signed invoice. And when I say case-sensitive, I mean my name in upper and lowercase letters. And thirdly, a copy of the valid, lawful, bilateral contract which contained full disclosure, lawful terms and conditions, equal consideration, and was signed by both parties, indicating a meeting of the minds. None of these companies were able to provide any of the information I requested. Matter of fact, not one of the companies was able to dignify a response to me in any way, fortifying a tacit agreement between us, which actually does carry the force of law. Nonetheless, each and every one of them has done all the damage they could to my credit rating. I've gone on to say all that to get this letter back to my conversation with the customer service representative with M&T Bank. I told them that because of the risk factor guidelines my application would be subjected to during the approval process, I would likely be declined. Yet I asked why I had to submit to those risk factor guidelines when it seemed, based on my previous requests from other creditors and lenders, that M&T Bank wouldn't actually be risking losing anything of their own, like money namely. Since these other creditors had been unable and unwilling to document that I had, in fact, actually borrowed money directly from them, instead of creating the money out of thin air with my signature, I wondered why M&T would put me through their approval paces. Since the M&T customer service representative had no idea how to answer that question, I was given the number to the corporate underwriting department where M&T loans get approved or declined. I ended up speaking to a senior underwriter there who understood everything I was asking but had absolutely no idea how to answer the question herself, which I found rather interesting. She even asked if it was okay if she called me back in a short while so she could go research who to pose my question to. After about 25 minutes, she phoned me back, saying that she both had no idea how to answer my question or who to have me ask the question to who could possibly be able to answer it correctly. She suggested I go into my local branch, which I did. I spoke to blank, the assistant manager at my local branch, in blank.